if I told you the algorithm didn't start in Silicon Valley? What if I told you the blueprints for the 2026 surveillance state
were whispered in the Oval Office in 1936?
Players Heroes Submission.
August 24th, 1936. President Roosevelt met Hoover in secret.
Which is really just historical code for we're about to do something super illegal, but we're in suits, so it's fine.
There was no law, no vote, just an oral directive.
Basically, just a pinky promise to start watching Subversive People. Back then, subversive meant you liked unions or read the newspaper wrong.
Oh, Mike, don't say that.
This created Classification 100. The FBI started scraping newspaper morgues and library cards.
Imagine a guy in a fedora going through your library late fees to see if you're a threat to democracy.
If a national emergency was declared, everyone in Classification 100
Was to be summarily arrested and put into camps. Wow. So, if they would arrest these people on the spot, who were they targeting?
LAYEREREINTONETARGETEVTERSONS.
like the ones built under the McCarran Act. The government had a master list of search names ready to go. If you go to the FBI Vault, Custodial Detention Security Index, and check the DOCID 329-89622, pages 1 and 2,
You'll see that they had listed criteria for apprehension, including teachers, professors, and those who influence others.
Classification 100 wasn't a filing cabinet. It was a preloaded arrest list for anyone with an audience. The Madison Society files showed evidence that this eventually developed into the sex deviance program.
These files show the investigation of homosexual rights as a national security threat.
There are FBI vaults of Ernest Hemingway as a confirmed target. They actually tracked him to the Mayo Clinic. You can find files of agents discussing his mental state while actively spying on him. He was called paranoid while the FBI actively watched everything he did.
These are diagrams from the CIA's FOIA archive for the acoustic kitty. It looks like a board cat, perfect for showing how daemons think. This wasn't just a spy cat. This was a $20 million project to turn a life into a transmitter. The CIA technicians, aka the Wizards of Langley, didn't just hide a mic in a collar. They performed a gruesome, hour-long procedure to integrate the tech into the cat's anatomy. I mean, who the fuck is paying these guys? In the ear canal, a miniature microphone was stitched to use the cat's own pinna, ear flap, as a natural sound funnel. In the skull, a 3/4 inch transmitter was embedded at the base. In its rib cage/abdomen, batteries and internal wiring were packed into the body cavity. And finally, in its tail, a fine wire antenna was run through its fur all the way down its tail to provide the necessary broadcast range. The project failed for 2 reasons. During tests, cats had their own motivators. The cats would wander off to find food, ignoring targets. The CIA's solution? They did a fucking surgery to remove their sense of hunger. In 1967, they finally released the cat near a Soviet compound in DC. It took 9 seconds for a taxi to run it over.
When the biological hardware failed, the military-industrial complex shifted to agent-based modeling. Developed by Northrop Grumman, Pythagoras is a simulation engine that doesn't track people. It tracks agents. Instead of if-then logic, Pythagoras uses soft rules.
It assigns every agent a midpoint for behavior. Agents are assigned red, green, and blue values to establish affiliation. The generic attributes alpha, beta, gamma act as variables that can serve as anything the user wants, including fear, wealth, hunger, and intelligence. The document explicitly describes propaganda as a weapon that can be fired, a weapon that changes RGB color. Bad-jacketed is a COINTELPRO term for making someone look like a traitor to their own people. The CIA spent $20 million on the Kitty program because they couldn't program the target. When the taxi hit the cat, they realized that biological hardware is too fragile. They stopped putting microphones in cats and started putting them in your hands. If you look at the Pythagoras blueprints for the Marine Corps,
Proves you don't need to surgically implant a microphone if you can implant behavioral triggers.
Layer 0.2 Mapping.
In 1960, they launched the SIOP project. More specifically, SIOP-62. They planned to use 3 80-kiloton bombs on a city like Nagasaki, which only needed 22 kilotons. The goal wasn't victory, it was total erasure. They took the erasure logic from SIOP and turned it into behavioral change triggers. Instead of a nuke, they used a propaganda machine, a quote-unquote propaganda paintball, to erase your influence instead of your physical body. The 1960s were messy. They tried to wire cats for $20 million and planned to nuke the world 10 times over just to be sure. It was the overkill era. But the lattice grew up. Under Classification 100, the FBI created color-coded indexes